After nearly a year and a half of warfare, we have finally reached the final chapter. Hello again, fans. Brett Wolverton here in the Premier Wrestling Experience Event Center. PWX presents Skylar vs. Hollis, the final chapter, on Sunday, May 20th at Cabarrus Arena in Concord, North Carolina. Doors open at 2 p.m. and the action gets underway at 3. I'll have more on the final chapter in just a bit, but let's take a look now at the other exciting action you'll see in Concord on May 20th. At PWX Level Up in Gastonia, North Carolina, PWX heavyweight champion Ethan Case stated that he has helped create opportunities for numerous talent at PWX, and the final chapter will be no different when Ethan Case defends the PWX World Heavyweight title against Tracer X. This match will be Tracer X's first opportunity at the PWX World Heavyweight title, though he and Ethan Case are no strangers to one another. At the 2016 PWX X16 tournament, Ethan Case ended Tracer X's X16 dreams, defeating Tracer in the quarterfinals. At Unsanctioned 2017, Tracer X returned the favor by pinning Case in an X16 qualifying match, preventing Case from competing in the tournament that he had made it to the finals of the previous 2 years and was victorious at in 2015. At this year's X16 tournament, Tracer X had a tremendous showing, with victories over Built to Self-Destruct Billy Brash and the Product David Starr, before ultimately falling to the Syndicate's Elijah Evans IV in the semifinal round. With the score tied up 1-1, the tiebreaker is at the final chapter between Ethan Case and Tracer X, and this time the ultimate prize, in addition to bragging rights, is the PWX World Heavyweight title. At Rise of a Champion 13, the Governor, Martin Stone, climbed the ladder of success and claimed the Opportunity Knocks contract. However, shortly after Rise of a Champion, an even larger opportunity came knocking for Stone, and we are proud to announce and would like to congratulate Martin Stone on signing a full-time deal with WWE. Martin's contract with WWE unfortunately means that he is no longer able to honor the Opportunity Knocks contract. Premier Wrestling Experience officials are currently meeting to determine the status of the Opportunity Knocks contract and are hopeful that an announcement will be made regarding the contract in the coming weeks. After a controversial loss to former tag team partner White Mike at PWX Level Up, the Man Scout Jake Manning is looking to eliminate all of what he views as comic relief from PWX. The Man Scout not only used his actions at Level Up to teach White Mike a lesson, but also used the microphone, at times providing his own commentary on his match with White Mike. Manning hopes to continue this lesson at the final chapter when he hopes to eliminate another of White Mike's distractions in the weapon of Sass Destruction, Effie. The common denominator in this contest is clearly White Mike. What will the Man Scout be able to put together to counter the controversial but effective talents of someone who is quickly becoming one of the most popular stars in PWX in Effie? We'll find out on May 20th. The Premier Wrestling Experience Innovative Television title has been a bit of a hot potato as of late in 2018, with the holder of the championship having great difficulty retaining due to the demanding schedule of defenses. At PWX Level Up, the crown jewel Chase Owens shocked the world, taking the Innovative Television Championship in a fatal four-way match involving previous championship day Tracer X and the reigning champion at the time, the revolutionary Darius Lockhart. It was originally thought that the new champion Chase Owens would be in Concord on May 20th to defend the championship in a rematch against former champion Darius Lockhart. However, we learned directly from the champion that due to commitments with New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Innovative Television champion will not be in town for the final chapter. Let's hear from the crown jewel.
So I'm sitting in Japan and a little notification comes up. Chase Owens versus Darius Lockhart, PWX, for the TV title. No. You see, that's not how this works. First off, I didn't see a contract. I didn't sign a contract. Second off, I'm an international superstar. I do things on my time whenever I want. So May 20th, I'm not going to be at PWX. I'm not going to be defending this title because I'm going to be back in New Japan facing the very best in the world. But Darius Lockhart, you want a shot? You've got it. But I will tell you when you get it.
Though Lockhart will not be wrestling for the Innovative Television Championship at the final chapter, the Revolutionary One will be in singles action against international sensation Serpentico. With the wild ending to the PWX Tag Team Championship match at Level Up, along with all of the carnage that followed afterwards, it would appear that Corey Hollis's Country Jack team of Gunnar Miller and Brady Pierce are an unstoppable force in PWX. Matchmakers have looked over the footage from Level Up, as well as the other matches that Country Jack have had with the Ugly Ducklings, and have decided that Country Jack will receive another opportunity at the PWX Tag Team Champions, the Ugly Ducklings, at the final chapter. And this time the match will be held under Tornado Tag Team rules. This means there will be no tags in the match, and that all four superstars will be legal at all times. With the wild brawl we've seen at Rise of a Champion 13 and Level Up, will the final chapter for the Tag Team Championship be any different? We'll find out on May 20th. At Level Up, the Syndicate proved once again there is strength in numbers as Jason Cade turned his back on his tag team partner Timmy Lou Retton, joining members of the Syndicate in pummeling former member Retton. The Tommy Thomas has sent word to PWX offices that the Syndicate is now stronger than ever and will be at Cabarrus Arena on May 20th. What does this mean for PWX? We know that Timmy Lou Retton has vowed to go through every member of the Syndicate if he has to in order to extract revenge on his former partners, even if he has to go it alone. Hopefully fans will have more details to follow on exactly what role the Syndicate plays at the final chapter on May 20th. The tag team division in Premier Wrestling Experience has never been more competitive. Teams from all over the United States are making their way to PWX to be seen by the best crowds in the Carolinas. At PWX Level Up, Brutal Bob Evans pointed out there is a new tag team initiative taking PWX by storm. This initiative saw the Monster Squad come together in victory at Level Up against the besties in the world. Now at the final chapter, the Monster Squad team of Built to Self-Destruct Billy Brash and the real Joshua Cutshaw will have their hands full with another set of besties, this time in the form of Zach Edwards and Michael Stevens, the Beautiful Bald Besties. For several years, the Beautiful Bald Besties have been tearing through the tag teams on the Georgia wrestling scene, being recognized as the 2015 Tag Team of the Year by Georgia Wrestling History. Now their eyes are set on the Carolinas and the PWX Tag Team Championship. A victory over the unpredictable Monster Squad could quickly move them up that ladder of success. Fans, I learned just before coming into the event center today that the women of PWX will be back in action at the final chapter when Sue Young battles Hudson Envy. Sue Young, no stranger to PWX, having battled Tessa Blanchard at Rise of a Champion 13 in a hard-fought match. Her opponent, Hudson Envy, is making her PWX debut, and she's drawn one of the toughest women in wrestling in the Undead Bride as her first challenge. All of this brings us to the final chapter in the war between former Bruiserweight tag team partners, the Southern Savior John Schuyler and Corey Hollis. That final chapter to be held inside of a steel cage under I Quit rules. Schuyler and Hollis have been at odds since Rise of a Champion 12 when they were defeated by PWX tag team champions, the Ugly Ducklings. Following the match, Corey Hollis attacked John Schuyler with a vicious assault all over Cabarrus Arena. For months, Schuyler refused to fight his one-time tag team partner and best friend until finally, at He Who Cast the First Stone, Schuyler had enough and unleashed hell on Corey Hollis in a wild brawl that went all over the Shelby Rec Center, seeing Schuyler dive onto Hollis off a stage, a member of security DDT'd on the floor by Hollis, and the entire locker room emptying out to separate the two. Many thought this would reach an end at Unsanctioned at Cabarrus Arena, a violent, unsanctioned match between bitter rivals. In Corey Hollis's mind, this was only the beginning, as his improved Country Jack team of Brady Pierce and Gunnar Miller appeared to make things 3-on-1, tearing apart the ring and eventually pinning the Southern Savior. At X16, John Schuyler was prepared to make an important announcement regarding his career. Many thought we might be seeing the end of the top prospect. Seeing an opportunity to add fuel to the fire, Corey Hollis, along with his new Country Jack team, appeared to coax a retirement out of Schuyler. When words were not enough, fists began to fly, but again, the odds were against the Southern Savior. Seeing her boyfriend in trouble, Katie Sparks appeared from the backstage area to come to the aid of Schuyler. Unaware of who was behind him, Corey Hollis took a wild swing, shoving Katie to the mat. Be it intentional or not, this only further to enrage Schuyler even more. At Battlefield X, with an empty ring around him, what Corey Hollis feared the most happened as the Southern Savior's number was called. Schuyler entered the ring, attacking Hollis with a fury that saw Corey leave the ring under the ropes to try to escape. However, Skyler was hot on his trail, fighting with Hollis all the way to the back. Later on in Battlefield X, Skyler gained a bit of revenge, eliminating Hollis from the match. In moments, Brady Pierce would appear in the entranceway with Katie Sparks. Though eliminated, Hollis would return to hit a distracted Skyler with a crutch from behind, allowing Skyler to be eliminated. Hollis and Pierce, who had surrounded Katie Sparks, were stunned when Katie stood up for herself, slapping the taste out of Corey Hollis's mouth. Skyler would attack Hollis, leading to another wild brawl in the entranceway, all while Battlefield X was still going on. At Rise of a Champion 13, Corey Hollis's Country Jack battled the trio of John Skyler and his opponents from 1 year ago, PWX Tag Team Champions, the Ugly Ducklings, in a match that the ring couldn't hold. Skyler and Hollis would fight throughout the ringside area, at one point even knocking commentary out for the live recording. Even after the final bell had sounded, the fight continued on with maybe even more bad blood than ever before. It was announced at Rise of a Champion that this year-and-a-half-long war between Corey Hollis and John Skyler would end on Sunday, May 20th in an I Quit match to be held inside of a steel cage. I Quit matches are dangerous enough already, with the rules saying you have to beat your opponent to the point they have to say, "I quit." Adding in the steel cage not only gives Skyler and Hollis no way to leave the ring, but it also adds a weapon that can be used at any time. The purpose of the cage is to not only keep Skyler and Hollis inside the ring, but perhaps more importantly, it is to keep Country Jack, Katie Sparks, and anyone else outside of the ring away from the action. It's been 33 years since the last major I Quit match to take place inside of a steel cage, and for good reason. These kind of matches shorten careers and leave its participants never the same. Two men will walk into the steel cage on May 20th at Cabarrus Arena for the final chapter. Will two men be able to walk out? For even more details on this incredible main event matchup, I encourage you to check out PWXPro.com and check out the story entitled Blood Feud, Skyler vs. Hollis. Fans, tickets for the final chapter start at just $5 for children ages 5 to 12 and $15 for adults. Front row ringside is sold out, however there are still plenty of second and third row VIP seats available. These seats will get you early entry into Cabarrus Arena on May 20th. Those tickets can be purchased in advance by visiting PWXPro.com. Remember, the doors open at 2 p.m. and the action of the final chapter gets underway at 3 o'clock. Be a part of history when a 2-year war reaches its final chapter on Sunday, May 20th at Cabarrus Arena in Concord, North Carolina, when Corey Hollis battles the Southern Savior John Skyler in a steel cage I Quit match. For the Event Center, I'm Brett Wolverton.
Concord, North Carolina. PWX Wrestling returns to Cabarrus Arena Sunday, May 20th. Don't miss this amazing card, headlined by an I Quit steel cage match between Corey Hollis and John Skyler. Get your tickets today at PWXPro.com. This is your chance to see the best wrestling in the Southeast. PWX, live the experience.